Looks like we got two in the chat. Good morning. How you doing, Wolfman82? Wasn't expecting to get a lot of people in here this early on a Sunday morning, but we'll see how it all pans out. Got me a little rack of spare ribs on there. Smoking away real slow at 225 degrees. I got lazy this morning, didn't really burn a coal bed down. Started with some small pieces of wood and just let it go. And that's resulting in a real low fire. But ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm not in a hurry. Lower heat. What's up, Ted? How you doing this morning? I'm up early. Been up since 6. See how many early birds we get on here. Yeah, that pit behind me. Y'all be ashamed. Y'all looked inside that right now. I ain't cleaned that sucker in a while. I need to clean that pit. But I'm gonna save it for a video and show everybody how I clean my pit and reseason it. I'll probably do it maybe next weekend. I gotta shoot about 3 or 4 videos next weekend. I'm officially out of videos, so I got to get back to shooting. Good morning, man. Jeff, how you doing? Yep, got some good smoke rolling out back there. Some real good smoke. Some of that red oak smoke. I'm fixing to have to hustle me up some more wood. All my wood's getting dry, which is not bad. There's other ways to cope with your fire management. If you have some wood, don't have a lot of moisture in it, you just space it out further. But your flavor comes with wood that's got lots of moisture in it. Cleaning it this morning. Yeah, I got to clean that one back there pretty bad. It's bad. Let it kind of get away from me. I actually got ready to shoot a video and clean it here a while back, but my damn pressure washer broke. Then that just discouraged me from even wanting to even jack with it. What I like to do is pressure wash the inside, let it drain, then go in there and scrape everything out, and pressure wash it again. Then get a dead gum hot fire burning in it, get it up to like 400, 500 degrees, let everything dry out, and then season the inside of it, season the outside of it, and then use it. I'll show you all that one of these days. Anybody smoking anything this morning? That coffee's hot. Burnt my lip. Burnt my lip. Now we're up to about 250, which means the moisture is dried out in my wood and it's starting to burn real good. Beautiful morning out here. Sun ain't come out yet. It's sweating. Got the birds singing. Chickens free ranging. Just fed the horses. Oh man, Texas can't catch a break, man. It's been 100 plus here every day for a while. That gum freaking ridge of high pressure parked on us. It ain't letting up. We probably ain't gonna get no rain for the next 12 days. I got grass dying. Can't catch a break. Yeah, I seen all the pictures you sent me, Brett. Ted, that looked cooked you up a feast, man. Cooked you up a feast. I also got a bacon wrapped pork tenderloin I'm gonna throw on here in a minute. when I get to about the 2 hour mark of this cook. That way to finish about the same time as the pork ribs do. It's a pork tenderloin stuffed with jalapenos and pepper jack cheese. I didn't make it. I bought it from the store. It's peaceful out here. Quiet country living. Well, I like it. Oh yeah, the fire's running just right. Well, Nightbot's working today. Still ain't figured that one out. Well, y'all ready for college football season or what? I know I'm ready. Yeah, I can't wait for some cooler weather. I'll shoot a lot more videos when it gets cool. I don't mind coming out here and shooting short videos, but these long videos where I got to be out here all day in the sun, they ain't no fun. You too, Jeff, man. Take it easy. My wife's getting ready for church too. I go maybe once every couple months. That's about it for me. If I hear wood popping. No, temp's not going up. See you, folks, whenever you get ready. Just come on in. Probably hear my puppies over there fighting. If anybody wants puppies, I got some. Yep, I'll definitely have to shoot some videos next weekend. I'm officially out of videos. Thought about shooting a video this morning. Then I said, you know what? I ain't been live in a while. I'd rather just hop on here and chat it up if anybody's up this early. So, y'all got any questions about anything? Anything barbecue related? Anything about smoker? Anything you want to talk about? That's what we're here for. You know what? Now that you bring up turkey breast, Ted, it's something I'm going to do here before too long. They started carrying them big time over at my HEB finally. Kind of easier to get your hands on. Before, I've been buying in bone-in turkey breast and just separate them. Y'all, excuse me just 1 second. I got to go grab that pork tenderloin out of the fridge. hell with that. All right, guys, I'm back. Had to manage the fire a little bit. Started letting my pork tender on and thaw out a little more. I guess while I got you on here, I'll check my analytics for the day. Since the last time I've jumped on here, I've got about 35 subscribers. Damn, my videos ain't getting a lot of views here lately. Did I suck that bad? I think I did. What's up, Ted?
Morning, Mike. How you doing?
Doing good. Not sweating my ass off yet.
I wish I could say the same thing. Sweating after cleaning that pit.
Yeah. I need to clean that one back there. It's got all kind of crap in the bottom of it. I don't clean my pit out but about 3 or 4 times a year. But if you don't clean them out, if you let all that stuff get close to that firebox in, that should catch on fire.
What? So how you think our horns are going to do this year?
I don't know, man. There's part of me that says they're going to bust it wide open. And there's part of me that thinks that Sarkisian is going to blow a few games in the second half. So I don't know. To me, it's a make or break year for him, man. He's got all of his recruits. He's got his starting quarterback, second year in the offense. The defense ought to be better. They got tons of talent stacked. There ain't no reason to win 10 or not to win 10 or 11 games this year. At least win the Big 12. So we'll see. If he's cut out to be a head coach, this will be the year we find out. Because he ain't done shit since then. Since he become a head coach, nowhere.
Did you see that picture of Arch and Quinn and Malik standing in the end zone? Well, two of them look like boys, and one looks like a grown man.
Hey, that Malik Jefferson dude, he's or Malik Murphy. I'm sorry, Malik Murphy. That's a grown ass man right there.
Yeah,
he looked like he probably dug on defensive end.
Yes, he does.
He's huge.
You done any fishing lately?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of fishing. I've been going down there on just mostly on the creeks around here. Me and my boys we've been doing pretty good. Just going on the creeks. They're real low, so they're stuck in the holes. You can catch fish all day long. Not nothing real big, nothing to brag about. A few borderline keepers here and there. But yeah, we've been doing some fishing on Cow Creek and Trout Creek.
I think I'm going to pick up some oysters next week and do some and grill them over direct heat on my new firebox.
Ooh, that'd be good.
So,
I ain't done a video on grilled oysters. I got a lot of stuff I need to shoot a video on. I like grilled oysters. I eat them all the time when I go out and eat. We got 2 places around here that do a pretty good job on them. One of them's Tia Juanita's, and the other one's called Floyd Seafood. I don't eat oysters raw, but I'll eat them grilled.
I'll eat them raw if I know. I mean, they've got to be from a cold water area. I don't eat raw Gulf oysters. They're a little too big, and 2, they're not very good.
I'm gonna give this a try today.
I've done those before. The stuffed chickens they do are pretty good as well. Kind of expensive, but not much of a meal. But but they're pretty good.
Yeah, I do the stuffed chickens all the time. That jalapeno cheese popper cornbread stuffed chicken is my favorite one to do. But yeah, like I said, they're not real big.
There was I think they're still open. They tried to put one in Dallas, but it didn't wasn't open for more than a year. But there's a place in Houston called A Bears, and they do a bunch
Mhm.
of stuffed chickens and things of that nature. And those are really good and real easy on the smoker. You toss them on there for about 2.5 hours, and they're finished.
Yeah, this one right here comes. That's out of Spring, Texas, where they're from.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Glenn. What's up, Glenn? But yeah. So I mean, I don't typically buy those. I keep an eye out for them at my Brookshire Brothers. They'll get a whole bunch of them, and hardly nobody will buy them because they're expensive, and then they'll stick them out and put them on sale. So
Yeah.
I got that stuffed tenderloin for $13, and I got some chickens for $12, and I'll buy a few of them and keep them in the freezer. When I need a meal one day, I just cook them up.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I went to. They finally got around to opening some HEBs around Dallas. There's one about, I don't know, 15 minutes north of us. So they
Mhm.
had like you said, they had tons of uh, turkey breast out on display. And I think that too. I think they're the same as they were last fall, 5.49 a pound or something like that.
Yep. No, they're not cheap. Yeah, I've noticed that my HEB that I shop out down in Netherlands, the Super HEB, that they started putting turkey breast out a whole lot more now than what they were doing there for a while. It was hard to find them. I guess the turkey supplies is getting back up. I'm gonna shoot
My
probably 3 videos next weekend. I'm gonna do that dead gum. I'm gonna try those pork belly cinnamon rolls. Shoot a video on them.
I haven't seen that.
Have you seen those yet?
No.
Somebody beat me to the video. I think last week, same week I put the tri-tip at. I knew I should have went ahead and shot the dead gum thing. But I think Ash Kicking Barbecue put a video out on it, his version of it. The first time I seen it was actually on Texas Barbecue. There's a restaurant, one of the top 50 joints. I can't remember which one it was. I have to go back and look. But they did a little short video on it. They took the whole pork belly and they filleted it open, put cinnamon and brown sugar on it, and then rolled it up. Put skewers through it and cut it into dead gum cinnamon rolls. Looked like
Hmm.
cinnamon rolls. Smoked them down for a couple of hours, and then put them in a pan and poured maple syrup over them, and smoked them till they was tender. And I don't know, it looks good. Maybe a little too sweet. We'll see, but I'm gonna try it out. I probably won't use as much cinnamon and brown sugar, as I'm not real big on sweet. But maybe it'll get some views. I don't know.
You
But it
should
looks good.
at the same time, you should do one of those Butterfinger crushed. It's a shame to ruin a brisket, but you could do it on a chuck roast. You could do a sweet video.
I'm not brave enough to do nothing like that, man. I'm not gonna cook something I know. If I don't think it's gonna be good, I'm not wasting my time with it, man. I don't care if it'll get me a million views. I mean, that old boy that shoots those videos, he lives down there in southeast Netherlands, I believe. Uh, he's done some uh, he's done some unique stuff on his channel. I applaud him for that. He smoked crawfish on a smoker.
I saw that. I
Yeah.
saw that. Does he compete or does he just do videos? You think?
Uh, I don't know if he competes or not. I think in his bio he says something about being a competition barbecue team, but there's some stuff he does you can tell he took from the competition world. Like putting that butter on them briskets when he wraps them and stuff. That's competition. Yeah, I can't bring myself to put crushed candy on a brisket. I can't do it. Heck, I can barely bring myself to put a different kind of rub on a brisket besides seasonal and pepper. It's hard for me to do.
Have you? I'm sure you saw it. What's that sausage? The sausage sensei has been doing that. The peach cobbler.
Yeah, I've seen that. I want to try that. I bet that's good. I bet that would be good. I wouldn't mind trying that. He done another one that comes with a pecan chocolate sauce. I can't remember what it was called. pecan chocolate sausage or something like that. That looked good.
I met a couple guys, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago that took his $1,000 class or whatever, $1,200 class, and they said it was, very helpful. They learned a lot, but they said really all he got was $1,000 worth of free help. He says he teaches them everything, but you're doing all the cleaning and the grinding, and he's just sitting back telling you what to do. And all the stuff you're making is what they're rolling out at the restaurant that day or that week. So,
hey, that's a pretty clever business model. I'll give it that. You want to learn? Come on in here. I mean, that's what Goldie's and them top barbecue joints are doing when they bring them guys in for that class. They're putting them to work back there for stuff they're going to be serving up on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
That Sensei guy's gotten pretty popular. He's traveling all around the world now teaching sausage stuff.
I've been following that dude for about 6-7 years now. Yeah, he has blown up.
Yeah, because he used to just be a pit master at some little barbecue joint out by like Driftwood or something.
Yeah, it was Creekwood Smokers. Yeah, that's where he was at. And just judging by following him, he didn't want the fame. It don't seem like. I remember the first videos I seen on him. He had some girl that they were training up, and I could be wrong on this, but it seemed like he was giving her all the credit, and they were calling her the sausage queen and all that. And then he left Creekwood Smokers, and I'm not sure if he went to somewhere else before he went to Brotherton's Black Iron Barbecue. But then that's when he really blew up. I guess he came out and decided maybe he wanted the fame or something. I don't know.
Right. Is he? You think he does all of his sausage? Does he stuff them manually? Does he have an automatic stuffer? You think?
He's got an automatic stuffer.
Yeah. You ever looked into buying one of those?
Yeah.
Are they expensive?
If you want to get a good one, they're like in the $1,000 range, like the LEMs and all that. He's got a big 50-pound LEM electric sausage stuffer that I seen him use in a Harry So video when Harry So went over there and visited him. But then you can get the Vevors, which I don't know how good they are, what quality they are, but you can get a Vevor electric sausage stuffer, a 25-pound model, I think for about $400, $350 the last time I checked those. I definitely need to get a bigger sausage stuffer. I bought a 7-pound to get started. Then I started getting into sausage making, and when you got to reload that thing about 6 or 7 times, it starts becoming a pain in the butt, man.
But I assume the automated stuffer doesn't help you from busting casings, does it? You're still going to bust a casing, aren't you?
Well, they come with foot pedals, so you can control them with a foot pedal. You don't have to put your hands on nothing. Yeah, you have your foot on it, and I think they got 3 speed settings on them from what I've looked at on the internet. You got a slow speed, a medium speed, and a high speed. So if you put that, you could bust sausage casing anytime. I get a little brave with it when I'm doing it. I'm always good to bust 1 or 2 times every time I stuff, because I try to stretch the limits on it, depending on if I'm going to link it or if I'm going to keep it a whole ring. If I'm going to keep the sausage a whole ring, I normally try to get as much in there as I can. If I'm going to link it, I do it a little bit loose, and you can tighten it up as you link. I'm a perfectionist when it comes to stuffing sausage. I don't want no damn air pocket in my sausage. I take my time with it, and I stuff it, and I don't have to go back and prick no sausage. I don't have to prick no skins. I seen Meat Church did a video with a barbecue restaurant. I can't remember which one it was. They were making jalapeno cheese sausage, and that dude just sloppy cranked that sausage out. There was air pockets all in that crap, man. I can't even watch this shit.
Yeah, I think that may have been with Dane's. I think it was that when he was using his voodoo.
Yep, that was Dane. Yeah, no, that's when he's using his voodoo seasoning. I mean, in the end, it came out looking good. Maybe it don't matter, but man, my OCD kicks in. I can't do shit like that. Yep, I don't like having air pockets in my sausage. Every now and again I get one, but I try not to do it.
How much sausage you got left in your freezer right now?
None.
Running low.
I've ate it all. I've done ate all my sausage.
Did you
I've been out of sausage for about a month and a half, 2 months now. I cooked my last pack of hot gut sausage here a while back.
see any of those videos from the Windy City Smokeout?
I hadn't watched none of them yet. I'll be honest with you, I hadn't been this whole month right here, month of July, I have all my kids. I got an ex-wife and I have 3 kids with her. And the month of July I get all my kids and we stay hooked up running, going to the lake, swimming, going to the creek and all that. So I don't spend a whole lot of time on YouTube typically in July and don't put a whole lot of videos out. But I have seen some of the notifications pop up from Joe Yim at the Windy City Smokeout. I do enjoy watching them. So
It looks like a good time.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind going to some of them dead-gum barbecue festivals. That'd be pretty cool. Every now and again they'll have one down here in Southeast Texas, and I think they just recently had it. There's about 3 or 4 barbecue joints down here. I don't know them all by name. I've tried 2 of them and wasn't impressed, but there's about 3 or 4 of them that'll get together down here at I think Struggle Street Brewery. That's what it's called. And they'll have like a little Southeast Texas barbecue festival down here, and they'll party and stuff. I haven't been to it, but it looks like it's pretty cool. And I got kicked out of a Facebook group yesterday, Ted.
That's hard to do, isn't it?
Man, I'm talking about the most stupidest reason to get kicked out of a Facebook group. I got kicked out of it. I'm in this Facebook group called Propane Tank Smokers, and I post my content there. And I posted that tri-tip video there, and some dude commented on there, "That's not Texas style, that's California style." And I commented back. Maybe I might have been a little smart ass, I don't know, but I think I was. And I said, I cooked it in Texas, so it's Texas style. He said, "That's not how it works." And I wrote back, "Well, traditional style tri-tips cooked on an open fire. I smoked mine, reverse seared it, so technically it ain't California either." And that dude kicked me out of the group and blocked me from the group.
Yeah, I would say that a traditional California tri-tip would be on a Santa Maria grill.
Yep, that's what a Santa Maria grill on an open fire. Arnitex just did a video on traditional style tri-tip. That's pretty much how it would go.
Smoking Joe did one a couple of weeks ago on his Chud box.
Mm-hmm.
He said he thought it tasted better on the Chud box on the Santa Maria since you got a lid and you get that smoke flavor.
Yeah, reverse searing is the way to go.
That's what I did mine yesterday. I was lazy. They already had one that was trimmed and seasoned at HEB, and it was on sale. It was at its end of its life, so that's what I got yesterday, and just tossed it on, and it on that direct heat cooker. It probably took 20 minutes aside, and it was done. It was at 130, and pulled it.
Yeah. I remembered that dude's name before he kicked me off and blocked me. Then I messaged him, and he pretty much told me to kick rocks, go find another group that we don't allow YouTube posts in the group. It's like, damn, I read the rules before I joined the group, and I get a lot of views out of this group. It's big. It's almost 100,000 people.
Wow.
So freaking, I found out who the owner of it was, and I messaged him last night, but I don't think he speaks English, so I don't know if he's going to look at it. Try to get back in the group and go rub it in his face and then get kicked right back out.
Do those guys that own those groups, they make any money on that?
No, that's what the dude said. You're getting free advertising, and I was like, Facebook don't cost you nothing, dude. You ain't paying for this group. You're a moderator. You're not even the main admin. Some dude from California pissed him off because he didn't like my tri-tip video, or he was jealous. I don't know.
Yeah.
Facebook, man. But nah, man, going back to those meats that are going out of date, man, that's the first thing I do when I go in any grocery store. I go to where they keep the pile of sell today meats at. You can find you some deals and all that. Find some thick cut pork chops. Sometimes you can find briskets fixing to go out of date. Let's say my damn screen went black. There it is. But you can find all kind of stuff, man. I like going to those, especially over here at our local Brookshire Brothers. They're probably already a little bit high on meat, but they're the only dead gum grocery store over here in Kirbyville, Bleakwood area. But they'll buy stuff and hang on to it. You can go right there for the sale today meat. You can get ribeyes. You can get all kind of stuff for dirt cheap, man. It's fixing to go out of date. They'll mark it down to like $3 or $4.
Yeah, I don't see the price of meat coming down anytime soon. I hadn't bought any plate ribs in a while, but I didn't realize they're still $11-12 a pound.
Gosh, damn. I don't typically buy plate ribs anyway. To me, they don't have enough meat on them to jack with them. Every now and again, you'll find some meaty ones, but I hadn't seen none in a while. And I've been looking at beef. Go ahead.
I guess I was saying the dino ribs were $11 a pound. So yeah. over at the HEB.
Yeah, I kind of bit my words on that, and I bought one here about 3 weeks ago. I was going through there looking. I was just gonna get me one of them big cheap bags of chicken, and just throw some chicken on for the weekend. Because you can get that big bag of them chicken leg quarters and get like 14, 15 chicken leg quarters for like $6-7. But I was looking, and I found me a badass rack of beef ribs. They were thick, meaty, had a small fat cap on them, but they were $90. I bought them. I bought them there, and I froze them. I'm gonna do a damn how to smoke beef ribs start to finish video on them, probably sometime this coming up month. Yep, I'm gonna freaking do that video. I'm gonna do a smoker video when it gets cold. Like I'm gonna pick a day in January and December when it's really, really cold, and do a fire management video and the cold video. My other fire management video did pretty good.
We need to get you out there next time you guys have a snowstorm.
I thought about doing that when we had that deadgum freeze. That's back when I had my old country. Then I was like, nah, I'm not that brave. I'm not cold weather hardy at all. I hate cold weather.
After this summer, though, I tend to slow down a little bit when it gets really cold. But after this summer, I think I'll just keep cooking. I can't cook. It's just too hot right now. It's not even fun to be outside.
No, that's what I'm saying. So I put out a video every week. Last summer, I would film about 2 or 3 videos a week, and I toughed it out in this heat. I don't remember it being this hot last summer, man. Like it is freaking brutal out here. I've been using my pellet smoker stick burner over there. I've been using that for most of the summer. Put me a log on it and throw whatever I'm cooking on, and go in the house and come out an hour later and check on it. I ain't been sitting out here by the stick burner sweating my balls off.
I have not. I haven't put a log in my stick burner since April. I don't think. I picked the cover off of it the other day to make sure it wasn't rusting. But ever since I got that new that direct heat cooker, I just been using that. It's during the summer, and I could put the deflector plates in. And I did a shoulder clod. I don't know, a couple months ago, maybe a month ago, with the deflector plate. No, it wasn't a shoulder clod. What was it? It was a I did pork shoulder. I did a shoulder clod direct heat. That was good. But I did I put the deflectors in and ran a pork shoulder, and that thing, I put a snake in the fire basket and threw some logs on, and it ran for 8 hours. I didn't even have to, all I did was come out about every 2 hours and make sure the temperature was around 300.
Damn, I'll have to get me one of those, or I'm gonna build me one. That sounds pretty efficient.
It's pretty easy. It's and you can weld. You can weld, so you'd be able to put it together. But
oh no, I can weld. I built that sun gun back there.
Yeah, I would think that. I mean, I'm sure it was easy.
The only hang up is a 4x8 sheet of 1/4 inch steel is about $500 right now.
Yeah.
But you can build one. Well, depends on how big it is. You're gonna need 2 sheets at a minimum to build a 48 by 3 foot wide. That's probably about how big I'd build it, about 48 by 3 foot wide.
Yeah, mine's a smaller. Mine's just 24 by 20, but it's all I need. So I figured between that and the offset, I didn't need any more space. But
I want to build it big enough to put a whole hog on.
yeah,
I'm gonna do a whole suckling pig on that 250 next time I go to HEB if I can find one, or go to meat market and find one. I think they got them in the freezer section at HEB. I've seen them in there before, or it might have been Walmart where I saw them at. If not, I could probably find one at the local meat market. Damn splinter stuck in my damn fingernail from handling wood.
I forget you got you got double doors on your 250,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Man, I debated hardcore about making it one door, but I was afraid that the door would bow too much if I went that long far and didn't
Mm-hmm.
keep something right there in the middle. And then the weight of it kind of discouraged me from it too.
Right.
But looking back on it, I kind of wish I would have did one single door. I don't know, maybe not. I like the double door. Don't let as much heat out. But if I would have done a single door, I can do a whole hog on that son of a gun.
Could
Not
have,
have so
yeah.
much trouble getting it in and out. All right, I got to manage this fire. Give me just a second. I started out without a coal bed this morning. See how that plays out. Which them ribs they ran for about 225 for about 40 minutes before that fire really took off. Now we're 275, so I say that worked out for now. Just from past experiences, starting out without a big coal bed, when you get about the 4 or 5 hour mark of a brisket cook, kind of screws shit up. Not having that big coal bed with wood that's got a lot of moisture in it. That wood right there is fairly dry. I need to start burning it. My red oak pile from last year. I got to start hustling me up some more wood.
It's pretty easy for you to get wood around there.
If you're looking for it, it's not bad. The easiest place to get it is that firewood place up there in town, but they've gotten so freaking high, it's unreal. A truckload bed of red oak is about $220 right now, and that's about a little less than half a cord.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. A lot of times when you get close to winter time, you can find someone that's got some split up, and you can get a cord delivered for about $250, $300. But 90% of the time, it's going to be pretty green. And that's what I had been doing, staying ahead of the curve and getting it, letting it dry out a little bit. I still got enough wood to carry me through probably January, but I need to get on the ball and start hustling some more wood up. I had a big tree limb fall out in my road over here the other day. It was about that big around, probably about 14 inches around. And I drug that up in the yard. It was a water oak tree, and I split it up, and it gave me a full pallet of water oak. And then I've got some water oak that I split last year, and then I got one full pallet of red oak from last year too. The only
You
thing
have
about that
a
water oak is once that water oak does cure, you got about 3 months, and then that shit's rotten. I don't know why it does it, but it does it.
do you have a splitter?
I got a cheap Harbor Freight splitter that does a good job on green wood, but if you try to split some stuff that's dried out a little bit, you, it'll give it a run for its money. But for the most part, if you get wood and it's green and split it, it'll crack right through it with no problem, unless you got a big knot or something in it. It's a little 6 tons log splitter. It's done paid itself off. I got it on sale at Harbor Freight. They put a sale on it. I think I paid about $200 for it, so it wasn't bad. All right, rocking at 275. That's my sweet spot.
Got a bee out here. Whew. You ever stuff any summer sausage, stuff that's a little bit thicker in diameter?
No, and I bought a book and I started looking into all that because I wanted to try some different sausages. And I've only been making sausage for about a year and a half now, so I'm not no expert by no means, but I got the basics down. But I was looking into summer sausage, and that seems like a pretty daunting task right there. Some of the stuff you got to do for that. So I don't know if that's something I'll get into. Maybe this winter I might try it out. But there's certain things you got to do to that. I think there's not some kind of citrus nitrates you got to add to it and all kind of stuff to make it cure right.
And I assume you just have a wider stuffing tube you put on your
Mhm.
stuffer, and I guess the
Yeah, and you
casings
got to
have to be
buy.
wider.
So they got two different kinds of casings for that for summer sausage, and I think one's a synthetic collagen casing, and then the other one I think is like beef bung or something like that. Because normally summer sausage is about 2 to 3 inches
Right.
around diameter. I think the biggest pork casing you can buy is like an inch and a half around and about that I've seen. Unless you just do mini, and sorry I'm burping. You can do mini summer sausages, I guess. But reading through that book, I found some pretty intriguing sausage recipes I want to try. Did you know they make fish sausage?
Oh, I saw Chud made a salmon sausage the other day. So,
Oh, did he? I hadn't seen nothing from Chud in a long time. I quit following him a while back.
but
But yeah,
yeah, I
I
think
got a recipe for fish sausage, a bacon sausage. I want to make that bacon sausage. It's in that book that I bought here a while back and read through.
you need to. I think I told you that there's a fellow over in Grand Prairie, Zavala's. He makes a brisket
Yeah.
boudin sausage, which is out of this world. So,
I've got about 4 different recipes for brisket boudin. I actually saved some pork belly and some brisket trimmings to make that, and I've just never got around to freaking making it because it looks like it's a freaking job to make some damn boudin.
well, his is. I mean, I guess most of them. I would assume all of them are the meat's already cooked, so
Mhm.
it's almost as if you're making a huge batch of dirty rice and then stuffing it into a casing and then smoking it a second time. So,
Yeah, yep. I bet the cleanup on that sucks. Cleaning up on making sausage definitely sucks. That's what discourages me from making sausage a whole lot is having to go back through and clean all the equipment.
yeah, it'd be nice if you had if you had the room and the money to build a separate hut with with a sink and dishwasher and everything. I don't like dragging all that crap in the house. I try to do it all outside because I don't,
So same.
but I don't want to do it during the summer. It's too many flies.
I do it. Yeah, that's why I don't do it in the summertime. But I do it outside and I wash everything out with Dawn soap and a water hose on a table and let it dry. Which I don't know. If I break out the mixer is the biggest pain in the ass. I got a dead gum 20-pound mixer I don't never use. I need to sell that sucker. I might give it away on a freaking live one day. But I'd rather mix it by hand because that 20-pound mixer is such a pain in the ass to clean out. You got to take apart all the gears. The meat gets in the gears. Oh, it's a pain in the butt, man. Then you got to re-grease the gears and all that stuff at the end of it. I don't like jacking with it. And then trying to use it off a flimsy ass table like I got and do the Mexican, it shakes around too much. It's a pain in the ass. Yeah, I'm just waiting on dead gum pork butts to go on sale at HEB, and I'm gonna start gradually buying them as they go on sale, freezing them. Maybe by the time I get the first cold front, I'll have me about 8, 9, maybe 10 pork butts saved up with some brisket trimmings. I'll make me some more hot gut sausage. Then I got a country style pork sausage, which I've done a video on. That pork style sausage and that hot gut sausage is my two go-tos. I keep them on hand, and then I'll save some for some experimenting. I really want to do a crawfish bowl sausage. I've been thinking a whole lot about it, and basically I'd start out with Louisiana crawfish tails peeled and kind of give them a light bowl and some crawfish bowl seasoning with some potatoes and some corn, and use pork sausage for my base. And good morning, drunk chef. And then take my pork sausage and season it with nothing but crawfish bowl, and then cure it overnight, and then chill the crawfish tails and the cooked potato and corn overnight, and then stuff it all into a casing and cold smoking it. And man, I think that would be a good combination. I think that would work.
It sounds pretty good. I've had it wasn't fresh made. It was a frozen, but there was a place in Dallas that was carrying a crawfish tail sausage that someone from Louisiana made, and it was okay. But I bet the way you.
Don't get me wrong. They sell it over here. I've had a few, not a crawfish bowl sausage, but they have crawfish sausage and shrimp sausage. But yeah, just like anything that's commercial made, they season to the masses. It could have been better.
Correct.
But that's the good thing about making your own stuff is you can do it to your taste. And I really want to make that sausage and make it good. And instead of just putting the seasoning down in the meat, I want to take the seasoning and mix it up with my water content that's going to go in there and make a slurry and mix it in like that and let it cure overnight.
I didn't have a lot of success this year with crawfish. Last couple of years were pretty good, but the crawfish I had this year just didn't seem like they ever got very big. So,
yeah, I'll say even down here in Southeast Texas. So I only bowled one sack myself this year. And they were pretty decent size, but it was a last minute thing, and I got them from. I was going through the meat market in Brookshire Brothers, and I know that guy pretty good. And he came out and said, "Man, I got to get rid of this sausage." It was a deadgum Sunday morning. Of a sausage, I'm sorry, crawfish. It was a Sunday morning. He said, "I'll sell you this bag for $1.50 a pound," and I was like, "All right, throw it in the buggy. Let's get it."
Can't beat that.
Threw it all together at the last minute, bowled it, and there were some decent sized ones in there, not too big. And then I ate crawfish at restaurants a few times, and I think the main contributor to that is they're starting to harvest these crawfish earlier and earlier every year, and they're not really letting them grow too much. Only thing I can figure.
Yeah, there's I go to this place in Dallas. He's got his own crawfish farm in Louisiana and brings them up. But it seems like, he'll start, depending on the weather, he'll start bringing crawfish in around November, maybe December. But, it's not until maybe March or April that they start to get a pretty good size. And he's been out of crawfish. I think he stopped, I think the last Texas or Louisiana crawfish he brought in was, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks ago, and I noticed on his Facebook page now he's dragging California crawfish in. I had those last year at his place. They weren't very good. They were small, didn't have any taste.
So I don't know if he knows it or not, but crawfish season will continue on over in Louisiana, and they'll catch them crawfish down in the Chapala Bay, and they're I've had some of them. They're not bad. They don't taste like your crawfish that you get.
Right.
At your crawfish farms, but they're probably better than that California stuff. But I don't know how expensive them are or how to get on the list for them. I just know that there was a restaurant down here in Southeast Texas last year that was advertising them, and that crawfish season right there in that Chapala Bay, will last like till August. But yeah, most everybody around here quit selling a few weeks ago. But there's some restaurants here in Southeast Texas that'll start serving coffee. It's like second week, third week of January.
I'm good just to January to January to June's about all I need. February to June, just 2 or 3 months, and then like anything, if you have them year round, you tend to burn out. So it's kind of something it's nice to
So
look forward to.
I look at crawfish kind of like I look at Wagyu brisket. It's something that I like to have about 2 or 3 times a year, and then I'm good with it. I don't like to eat the crap out of it and get burned out on it.
They had a
Like I
bunch
ain't
of
even doing Wagyu brisket this year.
Wagyu tri-tips at HEB yesterday, and they weren't much more expensive than the primes, but they were all still partially frozen, and I didn't feel like spending $15 a pound for a tri-tip.
So the marbling I've seen in the tri tips here lately versus the Wagyu ones they've got out there versus prime. I looked at them when I bought that tri tip for my tri tip video, and I I really hardly ever pay attention to grades. I always pay attention to marbling when I'm buying anything. And just upon general observation, the prime tri tips had more marbling than them Wagyu ones did
Yeah,
when I was picking my tri tip out. That tri tip I did in that video, that sucker had the most marbling I've ever seen in a tri tip outside of Wagyu. It was freaking. It was good. Well, yeah. Even when I'm looking at my briskets, most of the time I end up buying choice briskets anyway. I don't worry about the marbling in the point because the point's going to have plenty of marbling in it.
right.
It's really got to be doing something wrong to screw a point up. What I always look at is the marbling in the flat, and I pick out the brisket that's normally got the thickest flat and most marbling in it. That's how. And I don't do that bend test stuff on briskets. I think that's a big time myth, man. I took briskets that were stiff as hell and cooked them down tender. I think that was a big time myth.
Yeah, I've kind of gotten away from cooking briskets. The last couple hunks of meat I've cooked have all been shoulder clods. I've got this rancher down in outside of Waxahachie, and he does a couple of the local farmers markets on Saturdays. So if I know which one he's going to, I'll text him ahead of time and ask him if he's got any clods, and if he does, or throw one in the bin, and I'll just go pick it up from him.
Yeah. Uh, I got to order shoulder clods from my local butchers. Nobody around here is really carrying them. HEB don't carry them. I ain't seen none of the meat markets around here. What a lot of our meat markets around here have started doing is selling a whole half of the cow or a quarter
Yeah,
of the cow, and I can get one cut off one of them quarters. But then again, I won't be getting a look at what I'm actually getting. They'll just bring it out and you pay for it. I'd really like to look at them and pick one out that looks good. But then I thought about smoking a whole quarter of a cow, a front quarter or something like that. Then I'd have to think, hell, I ain't got enough people around here to eat all that.
yeah. You'd have
They've
to
been
put
getting a lot of views on YouTube here lately, so I just put that one up till later.
you'd be your your vacuum sealer would be working overtime if you cooked a quarter cow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would be. I tell you what, I have the worst luck when it comes to vacuum sealers. I'll get one, it'll be good for a year, and then after a year, they go to crap.
Yeah,
Even the
I think
expensive ones. I had a LEM 250 here a while back that I thought was going to be badass. I used it for one sausage stuffing. I had a friend come over and we made some breakfast sausage and we made some pork sausage. And by the time we got to the end of it, that sucker would hardly even vacuum. So I brought it back to Academy. It was supposed to be one of the good ones.
Yeah, I think you almost have to drop top dollar and get one of those chamber sealers, but
that's what I
I
will
just
do
don't.
next.
You got to have a lot of space. I mean, those things aren't. It's not like you can put one of those underneath the sink or something.
Yeah, no, you're right. You can buy those Vibor ones. They're small, but I want to buy one that can at least vacuum seal a whole brisket.
Mm-hmm.
And those ones are about $8,000 to $2,000. They're not cheap, depending on which one you get. And then I got to remember I'm just a po' boy from Southeast Texas. I don't need all that commercial shit. I'm not a barbecue restaurant. Those are wants. They're definitely not needs.
I picked up a my buddy's restaurant when he has, when he cooks too many briskets, he'll vacuum seal them and he'll sell them for a discounted price. So I picked one up a couple of weeks ago, and when I went down to the Woodlands, and man, that was good. All I did was, bring some water to a boil, threw in a Yeti, and tossed that brisket in there for about 4 hours, and it would have been good to go then, but I figured I had some time and I had the smoker rolling anyway, so I cut it out of the plastic and put a little tallow on it and wrapped it in butcher paper and threw it on the smoker for an hour or so to kind of crisp up the bark a little bit. Man, that was good.
Yeah, that'd be good eating that. It'll also let that brisket redistribute its juices and stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
It's dead gonna be good eating. Yeah. Heck, man. I was back when I was cranking out a lot of videos and cooking a lot of brisket. I was actually selling brisket on the side, and that's what I would do. People didn't want to drive all the way out here and pick up their brisket the same day. I just take them briskets and cut them in half and vacuum seal them, and then reheating them like that. Really, sometimes they taste better because that daggum smoke gets sucked up in there.
What were you charging folks per pound if you were selling them?
I really wasn't going by the pound. I was just depending on what I paid for the brisket. I was doing 3.5 times the brisket cost. If I paid for the brisket, if they supplied the brisket, then I was going 2.5. And so that was coming out to be, back then, this is before COVID hit when I was selling them briskets. And I wasn't doing them on stick burner back then. I was doing them on this deadgum pellet stick burner. And I was selling them for about an average, about 100 to 125 a piece, depending on what I was paying for the brisket.
How many?
I was being fair about it though. I would figure out how much trimmings I took off of it, and I would subtract that from what I paid for the brisket, because I was keeping that stuff for myself and making sausage anyway. So,
how many briskets you think you can get on the 250?
So from about where that handle is right there,
right,
that's about the usable space I got in that smoker. If I keep my fire up to the front of the firebox, I could probably get anywhere from 10 to 16 briskets on it and be okay if I don't run a wild big ass fire. I really want to build me another grate and kind of go up in that cap a little bit and get some of that space right there. I got to manage my fire again. And now I'm kind of dealing with some of the hardships. I'm not burning down a good coal bed right now, but it'd be all right. There ain't no time limit to when I need them ribs done, so it'll be good. Those original logs about burnt down into an okay coal bed. It's just when you do that, you got to kind of baby it along, because your channel logs are going to burn up first and fall in half, and you got to scrunch everything together and keep burning it. It'll finally turn into a coal bed. Then you can throw the good logs on like I just did, so it ought to level out, not be too bad now. be more consistent with the temp.
I just heard from my son. He lives up in Chicago, so him and his buddies, they went on the this Wrigleyville pub crawl yesterday. So it started at 10 a.m., went till 8 p.m. So they hit like 25 different pubs.
Damn.
So that's a long day.
Say they got drunk, huh?
Yes, I would think so. Well, yeah, and then I don't think he got home till about 1 or 2. So I think they kept the party rolling after the pub crawl ended. So
ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm too young to do all. I mean, too young. I'm too old to do all that crap now. I can't. I'd be lucky if I stay up past 11 o'clock.
yeah, I think I might be able to make the pub crawl. If it was during a college football Saturday and the weather was nice, I'm sure I could wander from pub to pub from 10 to 8, but I wouldn't be up till 1 o'clock in the morning. So,
yep. No, I can't do that. I did a deadgum, I can't remember what video it was I shot, but I stayed up all night smoking last year. That was pretty freaking rough. I paid for that. It seemed like it took me a week to recover from that crap.
That's the nice thing about being able to hold stuff now in the turkey roaster and stuff. You stay up all night and cook, and then you have people come over at 4 in the afternoon. You're useless. So
yep. Yeah, deadgum, them turkey and the oven roasters have been a game changer. But I was already kind of doing that on that big pellet smoker back there. I can get it down to 150, and I was using it to hold briskets and stuff overnight before I learned about that turkey roaster. The only thing that would kind of suck about that big thing right there is it would feed so little pellets sometimes that it would fizzle out and go out overnight. You had to be real careful on it. It wasn't trustworthy at all. And then my oven that I had at the time said it was running 170, but it was really running about 215.
Right.
And I found that out the hard way, resting the brisket in that overnight. I rested a while. So 2 Thanksgivings ago, I smoked a Wagyu brisket on my old country. Brazos, and I put it in that oven overnight to rest. And I woke up the next morning, and my internal temp on that brisket was reading 215. I was so pissed. I was madder than hell. I pretty much, we had Wagyu chip beef sandwiches, man. Yeah. I was mad as hell. Couldn't slice it. It fell right apart. Now I got a new oven that'll go down to 145. That's what I've been using to hold my barbecue in when my wife don't need it. So my turkey roasters they're catching a bunch of dust right now. That turkey roaster, you can stack you up about 3 briskets in that thing, one on top of the other.
I've done a brisket and a thing of dino ribs in mine where I stacked them on top of each other. But
now we're up to 300. It'll calm down though.
You ever do any long hold on ribs, on pork ribs?
So I've thought about doing that. I've thought about it. I did something on a long hold here a while back, and I wasn't too. So pork butt. I did a long hold on a pork butt here about 4 months ago. I smoked it during the day, and then held it overnight. We went to the lake. I held that pork butt for about 14, 16 hours, and it didn't benefit it to hold it other than convenience. It didn't make it juicier, but it was still good. So I don't know if holding the ribs would benefit you that much other than just convenience. I don't think it would turn out a better product. Pork butt didn't turn out a better product. But I think Chud did a video on that here a while back.
I do like the convenience part of it. It's nice to be able to cook stuff the night before, put it in the warmer, get a good night's sleep, and then it's all ready for the next day.
Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of leery about resting pork ribs because the theory I got on resting stuff like that, like a select brisket, I've rested a few of them overnight, and they tend to dry out when you rest them because they really don't have a lot of marble in them to begin with. So what I found on select briskets is about 6 to 8 hour hold on them is about all it needs. Resting it overnight really don't benefit it. So I kind of think that same way along the pork ribs line. Is, maybe if it's a real high grade of pork, like Duroc or something, it'd probably turn out a better product. But just regular ribs, probably wouldn't need to. But I have taken them and vacuum sealed them whole, and then heated them up in that turkey oven roaster. Put water in it and heated them up like that the next day, and they were freaking awesome. When I got like a big cook that I'm going to do at work and all that, and I'm going to serve some ribs at work or something, that's what I'll do. I'll vacuum seal them ribs and refrigerate them, then take them with me the next day and put them in that turkey roaster and put about 5 racks in there and put it on about 150 and let it sit in there for about 3 or 4 hours and heat back up. And that turns out a damn good product. Almost just as good as when you pulled it off of the pit. Yeah, I seen some of them videos that Smoke Trails did with the brisket and the pork ribs like that. And really, that's the secret to holding high grade beef overnight too, is which I don't smoke my briskets by internal temp no more. But really, if you had to go by an internal temp, when you pull a brisket off, you want to be about 190, 195 before you start resting it overnight. It'll finish breaking down all that fat stuff. If you pulled it off with a little bit of stiffness to it and sliced it that same day, it wouldn't be done.
Yeah, that Smoke Trails fellows, he cooks a ton of briskets. I wonder what he does with all those things.
I don't know, but man, that dude goes down the rabbit hole on everything. Hey, more props to him. He's doing the research for us.
So
he's out for the perfection of how Aaron Franklin does them briskets, man. He's obsessed with that.
I'm not certain I would have drilled a hole in my smoker so I could run a steamer tube in it, but
you can get that same effect by putting a water pan right there on top of your deflector plate, and it does the same damn thing. Down here in Southeast Texas, it's so humid. I don't have to run a deadgum water pan in that. And then, another thing that he fails to mention, if you use wood that's high in moisture content, like 25, 28, 30%, that also plays a big role too, because you're burning the moisture out of that wood and it's going into your firebox also. With that, plus 60, 70% humidity we got out here right now, I don't have to run no water pan. I found running water pan right here in that smoker didn't buy me minimum, if any, results anyway. So I quit doing it, and I quit spritzing. I don't spritz no more either. In my opinion, and it may piss some people off, and I apologize in advance. If you know how to run your fire, you don't need to spritz. If something goes getting a little bit dark for some reason, I just put a little foil tip on it.
Yeah, I stopped spritzing. What I have been doing on that direct heat cooker is, and I never mopped in the offset just because it's such a mess, getting all that shit down in the cook chamber. But in this, I got to clean out the bottom of the direct heat cooker anyways, because that's where the fat drips down. And so I've been doing a lot of mopping on stuff where I've just been doing direct heat, and I really like the flavor.
Yeah. Yeah, that direct heat flavor, man, that's something else. That's one thing I can say I get out of that deadgum pellet smoking stick burner I got, is I'd rather do chicken on that than I'd rather do chicken on my big smoker, because that deadgum fat starts dripping down on that grease pan down there. It starts fizzling off, and you get all that direct heat smoke too, and it just gives another flavor dynamic, man. That's freaking awesome. But yeah, I quit spritzing a long time ago. I don't see no benefit to spritzing. I found with spritzing, it gets a little harder, and it takes longer into the cook to get your bark set if you spritz too much.
I think you need to get you a full gator on that big pit, Mike.
So I've eaten different parts of the gator, and I'm not real fond of some of them parts to want to cook a whole gator on there, just simply because I won't eat them. Now, I would love to smoke a whole gator tail on that pit. I would definitely do that. And I've
Yeah.
actually forgot about it, but I've got some fucking red snapper on the half shell that a friend gave me. They caught out in the Gulf here last month. I need to do a video on that too. It's in my freezer right now. I may shoot that video maybe next weekend too. But I wanted to do that. Make a brown butter sauce with whole shrimp and lump crab meat and baste it over the top of it right there at the end of the cook. Be some good eating, man.
Yeah, I had some black and redfish the other day over a bed of dirty rice with some crawfish etouffee on top of it.
Oh, there's a place down here called Papados, and they'll do that redfish on the half shell and serve it with a brown lemon butter sauce with capers, lump crab meat,
Yeah,
oysters, and shrimp in it. Fuck, man, it's expensive. It's about $50, but it's freaking good.
yeah, we got a
Very good.
Papados here in Dallas. I mean, I think any restaurant that's owned by the Papas families they're good, but they're expensive.
Yeah, you're gonna pay for them. It's one of them things where you treat yourself a few times a year. It ain't something I'm gonna eat every chance I get. That dead gum seafood fondue they got. Holy crap, it's good. So what I've experienced with ribs cooked at 145, which I didn't rest them, they're tough as hell. They're not like a pork steak. You can cook a pork steak to 145 and it's tender, but you cook ribs at 145, it ain't tender. But I guess if you did that hold on it, maybe that is a concept. But then again, I don't temp ribs, man. I consider temping ribs a rookie move. So I mean, I cook my ribs when they start bending real good and got a good color and the bark set, and then I take them, flip them over, and wrap them.
Is that your rooster behind you?
No, that's two puppies over here fighting.
Oh no, I see the rooster walking behind with some kind of yard
Oh,
pimp walking behind your
yeah, that's one of my hens. Normally, that annoying ass little banny rooster stood up over here and crow all day. I see him crowing over there right now when I'm shooting my videos. He thinks he's got to be right there. Let me know he's here. He's annoying. I got to stop the video, run him off. You should see when I got to edit my videos. I wouldn't post them because of the freaking language, but the crap I edit out of my videos, it's just like a damn circus around here dealing with these animals.
What do you do with your? I'm sure you got coyotes and stuff. Do you put your chickens up at night, or what do you do with them?
My chickens roost up in the trees. I made them start roosting up in the trees and locked them out of the pens here recently. But I got 4 dogs out here outside, so they're good. They're good watchdogs. Nothing really comes up here and jacks with them. I will lose one every now and again. If these hens, especially this time of the year, if these hens wander back there in the pasture too much and a dog's not around, a dead fox sweep right in and snatch one up. That's about the only thing I got to compete with right now. During the wintertime is when you really got to worry about the coyotes and stuff coming up. But these dogs do a pretty good job of keeping everything run off for the most part. And with them roosting up in them trees like that, about the only thing you have to worry about any time of the year is raccoons. But a raccoon ain't getting, or a bobcat, which is rare to have a bobcat around here, but it has happened before. Bobcat come up here and ain't gonna take no crap off them dogs, and they ain't gonna jack with it either for the most part. But if a raccoon or possum or something comes around, they'll kill it. I haven't lost no chickens this year, so I've got 46 right now, and I've held on to that since January, since I started raising them again.
That's pretty good. I mean, I live in the city and we have coyotes all over the place. People's little dogs have been getting swiped. We got a trail system in our neighborhood, and there's a couple ponds and stuff, but we got coyotes and bobcats, and there's always at least somebody once a week or twice a week where their little 15, 20-pound dog has gone missing. The coyotes snagged it.
Yeah, no, I don't have to worry about that here. I mean, it's a wide ass open country out here too. But well, I mean, up in the city, you got a lot of animal lovers too. I think those coyotes are real cute and all that. Around here, they come around, we bust them. We don't let them hang out. We'll shoot
Yeah.
them.
Hopefully
I
you're not
want to
going
get.
to.
I'll go ahead.
I said, hopefully you're not going to throw one of those on the smoker.
No, I don't think I'm gonna eat any kind of dog, man. I'll pass. I want to get me a flat top griddle. That's next on my to-do list. Make some smash burgers.
The guy that built my direct heat cooker made me a griddle so I can pop off one of the grates and move the fire basket up. So it's about, I don't know, probably 12 to 14 inches below that griddle. And I did some smash burgers, some onion smash burgers the other day. Pretty good. So
Heck yeah. Did gum. I've actually my deflector plate in there. For a while, I kept it seasoned up, and I was doing smash burgers and steaks on that deflector plate. It was all right. It wasn't as good as a seasoned up Blackstone.
my only problem with cooking with the griddle, it's just something else you got to kind of a pain in the ass to clean.
Yeah. Dang it, I wish I'd have brought a knife over here with me. I gotta put this pork tenderloin on here in a minute. I hear my horse coughing. I'll bring her to the deadwood vet here before too long. I don't know what the heck's going on with that. Bad thing about it being so dry right now is these horses are super picky on what grass they eat and they don't eat. And they'll eat a certain grass all the way down to the roots, and they'll inhale all that deadgum dust and get a deadgum an allergy from that gets in their lungs. And for every
Right.
time that crap happens, most of the time you got to bring them to a vet, get it treated. I've tried a few in the feed store remedies, and they ain't working. I ain't had real good luck with my horses this year.
How many horses do you have?
I've got two. I've got one recovering from founder. I have no idea how that happened. I keep them on a pretty strict diet. Got one recovering from founder, and I got one with a cough. I ain't even got to ride them this year. What do you want, Rosie? You're a dirty girl. What the heck was that? Oh, that's the chickens scratching around the old feed bucket, trying to get every little crumb they can. You'd think these dead-gum chickens are starving to death. That dead-gum thing about them big yard hens like that is they eat you out of a house and home if you let them.
Now, you don't have any, you got any wild hogs around there or no?
Oh yeah, we do, but they don't come up. The dogs keep them ran off from over here. But if I go out in the woods to the creeks and every now and again, I always carry me a little protection because sometimes you'll run into a dead-gum mama sow with babies, and they ain't backing down when you run into them. It's been a while since I ran into one, but the potential is there. Last time I ran into some was I was on my horse here about 2 years ago, and charged the horse. We just ran from it. I didn't jack with it. When you're out there in that national forestry, you're not supposed to bring firearms out there, nothing like that, shoot nothing. So I didn't want to get in trouble for that and lose my riding privilege out there, my fishing privilege.
I'm going to have to use Casey's suggestion. He says use pickle juice on a griddle for
Oh
cleaning.
shit!
I'll give anything. Sometimes I'll put pickle juice if I'm put a binder on something. I'll use a little bit of pickle juice instead of mustard or anything like that. But I'll have to try the pickle juice on the griddle and see if that helps.
You know, that's one thing I got away from, man. There for a while, I was a firm believer in mixing pickle juice, mustard, and Worcester sauce. That was my binder for the longest time. But now I found I don't even using the binder really don't on this stick burner. I guess because of the amount of airflow that's in it, using the binder don't make a difference. No way. If a piece of meat's a little dry on the outside, I've actually found just spritzing it with a little bit of water and moistening it up works the best.
Yep.
I quit using binders probably right at the beginning. I started filming these YouTube videos. I quit using binders. I just don't. It's one of them things I found that's not necessary to turn more into a habit. Along with spritzing, I think that's more habit than it is necessary in most parts. And mopping, I used to mop stuff too. I don't hardly mop no more. I think the reason I did a lot of that stuff was to get more flavor on, smaller smokers, pellet smokers, smaller stick burners. Once you move up to something this big that puts out a high volume of smoke, all you need to worry about is just the rub then.
Well, Mike, I'm gonna jump off. I just saw the boss woke up, and I'm sure she's got some tasks for me to finish up. So
Yeah, mine's heading to church, so I'm good till later.
50/50 water and pickle juice. I'll have to give that a metal scraper. So
I'm gonna have to give that a try.
So I'll try anything once. So okay,
Yeah,
well, good
man.
luck on your ribs and your pork today.
All right, bud. Appreciate you stopping by. Good
I'll
to
check in
finally
with you next
talk
time.
to you in person or on the internet in person.
It's pretty pleasant today. So just the humidity burned off, so it's pretty nice right now. So
It's the sun's coming out. It's starting to get a little iffy right here. I'm gonna hang on a little bit longer though.
okay, well, everyone have a great Sunday.
All right, man. Thanks for stopping by, Ted.
Yeah.
I gotta go get a knife, cut this open. I don't know if any of you guys in the chat have really tried one of these right here, but they're worth it if you don't feel like doing it all yourself. All right, we got a nice low and slow fire burning. Ribs are looking nice. That was my 2-hour mark. I just checked them out. They're looking good. Where are you from, Casey? Did you ever tell us? I think P Digits was up there from around Dallas area or Longview, if I don't remember right. Yep, sun's coming out now. Yeah, damn sun. End up drinking the pickle juice. I'd end up drinking that pickle juice too. Hey. Well, the animal's pretty frisky this morning. Got a nice cleaner fire going, which is good. And mainly because my wood's a little bit drier than I would like, but it's the variables in barbecue. You take what you got, make the best of what you have. Make sure that wasn't chicken hawk. So what's everybody cooking this fine Sunday morning if you are cooking? Sous vide chicken thighs. Huh. Sous vide chicken thighs. What temp do you sous vide them at? I would think, and maybe it don't matter because you got a vacuum sealed, but I would think you wouldn't want to drag out a chicken too long, huh? Because of it being in the danger zone for too long and growing bacteria. But maybe you've done it before and it works. Maybe the USDA is pumping us full of shit, like they did for pork for years. Okay, yeah. No, I got you. That'll work right there. Yeah, 165, 2 to 3 hours. Yep, that gets you out of the danger zone. But that's man, I want to try that. That'd be good because then you get that chicken done, and like you say, reduce the juices, and it sits in its own sauces. Man, that'd probably be some damn good eating. I know there's a lot of YouTubers out there that either sous vide and then smoke, or smoke and then sous vide and swear by it. Yeah, you're gonna crisp it up over the charcoal. Huh. I bet it probably is good. I haven't really dove off in the sous vide world. I see it all the time though. I try to be more of a traditionalist, but every now and again I go outside the box when I'm experimenting with new stuff. Be nice if there's a little breeze out here, but there ain't. Everybody swears by sous vide steak, reverse seared sous vide steak. That's something I want to try. I don't know. I'm running out of ideas on stuff to cook without trying to copy every other YouTube channel. So I might have to start trying some new stuff here before too long. Ah, so you're meal prepping. I used to meal prep my barbecue and I was shooting a video every week, but then I got so tired eating barbecue, it was unreal. Y'all see me shoot these videos of cooking all this stuff, and we eat what we want, and then I'd bag the rest of it up, vacuum seal it, and heat it up in a pot of water at work. I just felt like eating some ribs today, so I got me some ribs going. Just one little rack of pork spare ribs and one bacon wrap stuffed tenderloin that I bought from the store. Try to minimize my time being out here in this heat. Them ribs I'll be wrapping probably here in about an hour. Yeah, if you ever see them, what I showed you on the screen a minute ago, those La brochure, whatever they're called, stuffed chickens and stuffed pork tenderloins, most of the time they're kind of expensive, but if if you watch, these stores will hang on to them long enough where they won't sell nothing, and they'll put them on sale, and then you can get them for what they really should be worth, which is about 12, 13 bucks a piece. And when I do see that, I'll buy about 3 or 4 of them and put them in the freezer. Save them for when I get lazy and don't feel like doing all that stuff myself. Yeah, well, I got 3 viewers on here. What y'all want to talk about? I figure I get a whole lot of people on a Sunday morning, but I know I needed to. All right, Ben. Thanks for stopping by, bud. Go worship the Almighty. I do my worshiping right here at the pit. I ain't gonna hang out here too much longer. The sun's starting to cook my ass. Just see me looking funny at the computer screen. It's because the sun's hitting it. It's kind of hard to see, so I'm making sure no new comments popped up. Yeah, YouTube really gets slow this time of year, so I don't expect a lot of viewers to hop on the live, and I don't expect a lot of views on the videos. So I don't shoot a whole lot of videos typically in July and June. Really get a lot. I'm not a big time channel. I can't just throw some shit on and get 100,000 views. I really got to work for it to get 1,000. Maybe some of that's my fault because I'm not goofy acting and real charismatic acting, but it is what it is. It be like that sometimes. My main deal of starting this channel was teach you guys how to barbecue, not make a fortune. I already got a job I make money off of. So right here, it's just a hobby. But it is getting humid. Trying to stay on to the 2-hour mark at least. Smoker's still running about 275. Good smoke coming out up there. Gonna tighten my fire up though. It's dropping. I'm thinking about doing a live cook one day in the fall when things get a little cooler and slowed down. Maybe doing a rib cook from start to finish live. Rig my camera up where it hooks to the computer and bring it all around and do some shooting live. I know Bring the Smoke Barbecue channel done it here a while back where they did a whole pig live and all that kind of stuff. I don't think I want to go more than 12 hours, maybe like 6 hours at the most, just to see how it would do. Because I don't edit out none of my mistakes in my videos. I try to keep it real. But then y'all can probably see some of my goof ups live where I'm running a chicken off or getting onto dogs barking or something like that, you know. Just a quiet country morning out here. Quiet, dusty country morning. So freaking dry here right now. We need some rain in a bad way. Still got some good smoke rolling. It is time to manage the fire, though. Give me a second, please. Freaking ground so hard you can't even stick a shovel in it. I guess everybody's gone off to church. Is it too early for a beer? I think I'm fixing to just go ahead and drink me a beer. It's almost past 9 o'clock. I'll drink a beer with you guys and then I'll get off. Yingling. Good American beer. That's good. That is good. My annoying little banty roosters walking by. You'll start growing. A lot of times I can sit here and listen to my fire back there. It's really popping. I can tell it's starting to get wild. A lot of people get too caught up in trying to keep the most consistent temp possible. It does help to be somewhat consistent, but nobody's going to run a fire absolutely perfect because of the variables of wood and moisture content and size of the log. I manage my fire to what wood I'm using to put on there. If I need to get a little hotter, I put a little smaller piece of wood on there that burn up. If I want it to last longer and get a lower fire, I go with bigger, denser pieces of wood. And like right now, my wood is a little bit drier than I would like. I keep everything spaced out further apart, burn slower, and that's what I'm doing on this cooker right here, keeping everything low and slow. Now I look back at my temp gauge and I'm over 300, but I know that's because I just stuck a small piece of wood on there, and it's burnt. It's running its course and burning up, and it's going to jump up to 300, 325 for probably about 5-10 minutes. I know it's a low, slow fire, so I mean, it's not gonna kill the cook, not gonna crisp everything up real hot. It's gonna run its course, and then it'll start slowly and gradually coming down. Hold it about 275 for a good hour, hour and a half, and then it'll start dropping off. At which that time I'll manage it again. So it's just a game you play managing fire. What's up, man? Yeah. So look, I like my pellet smokers. My RecTech, I done got to where I'm not gonna say that I hate it, but I really don't like using it no more. Because to me, to get flavor on the RecTech, any kind of smoke flavor, you got to run the smoke tube and you got to use rubs that got smoke in them, and that's really why I haven't been the biggest fan of the pellet smokers to begin with. But as far as just putting out something that's good to eat, that tastes good, they'll do it all day long. But if I really want some good barbecue, I'll get out here at the stick burner and I'll sweat. Even the pellet smoker stick burner that I burnt still don't give me the level of smoke flavor as that dude does back there. And maybe I've done got spoiled to that, but I want to taste good, not even necessarily Texas style smoked barbecue. If I want to taste good smoked barbecue, it's going on that 250 gallon back there. So I initially thought that too. I remember the first time. So how I got back in the stick burner game, I cooked everything on the stick burner for years, cheap stick burners. And then I got a job where I was working out of town all the time, so I did a lot of grilling and all that. I got back in town, and I tell you, I worked out of town. I was on and off for about four or 5 years. I didn't stay home more than maybe 2 or 3 weeks at a time. And when you have been on the road a long time, you get back and you spend time with kids and family, and then you go back on the road. But I got to where I was working at home more, and that's when pellet smokers were starting to get popular. It's back in 2017. I bought a Pit Boss Austin XL pellet smoker, and I went to cranking out on barbecue on that, and it put out decent smoke flavor, and everything was good. And I was like, man, this is awesome. So I got into it, and then I just found myself getting used to that flavor and wanting more depth. So then I went to using smoke tubes and all that. And then I really got unhappy about how inconsistent the temps were in a Pit Boss. So then I went to the Rec Tech and I was like, oh yeah, this is way better. I mean, I cranked out some pretty good briskets in that that Rec Tech. I was like, man, this is awesome. And then I went to 1701 Barbecue when they first opened. And I was expecting to go in there and get my socks knocked off. But I went in there, and maybe my expectations were too high, which is not fair to a barbecue restaurant that just opened. I've gone back and tried them since then, and they're decent. But I was expecting their brisket to be better than the brisket that I put out on the pellet smoker, and it wasn't. It wasn't better, and the smoke taste that I got was just a dirty smoke taste, man. And I was not impressed with it. And I thought, I want good stick burner smoke flavor. So I then I left there, went straight to Academy and found an Old Country Brazos on sale for $800. That was a floor model. It was missing something, but it wasn't major, and it had a little dent in the door, which I straightened out with a hammer when I got home. But I got it for $800 back when they were selling for $1,000. Right before, I think it's right after COVID, if I'm not mistaken. So I got that home and I ran that stick burner, played with it, figured out that stack wasn't long enough on it. Went to YouTube, started searching around what everyone was doing for mods. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to put a smoke collector on this. So I modded that Old Country out, which I've seen the videos and stuff, and got to where I was putting out good stick burner flavor on that. Then I got back into smoking on a stick burner and found my passion for it again. And I desired more flavor, more food. So then I built this right here. Now that I'm back in the stick burner game, the smoke level that you get on a stick burner versus the smoke level that you get on a pellet smoker is not comparable. Not looking down on pellet smoker people. There is some flavor there, but it's not the depth of flavor you get on this back here. I looked at the Traegers, but I didn't see much of a difference back then between a Traeger and a Pit Boss. They're both built cheap. My Austin XL is sitting over there. I need to throw it away. It's all rotten. It lasted me for about 2 years. It's just when something goes out on a deadgum pellet grill, it's such a pain in the ass to change it. My Rectech Bull's got an igniter out on it right now. I need to change out. Really you don't have to change out no electronics on this back here. You just throw more wood in it. Throw more wood in it and go with it, man. It's the beauty of it. But at the same time, it's a lot of dedication to be over here babysitting a stick burner. There's a lot of convenience in a pellet smoker, which is why I'm not 100% against a pellet smoker. Like I said, I've got one that I built that burns sticks and puts out way more smoke flavor than that Austin Pit Boss and the Rec Tech, but still don't give me the depth of flavor I get at burning wood at different times in a stick burner. So, but yeah, I used to think along them lines, Chuck. Man, this pellet smoker, what the hell I need a stick burner for, man? This pellet smoker puts out better Q than the stick burner does. Had to remind myself that was not true. But to each of their own. I've got friends that use nothing but pellet smokers and put out damn good food. I'll eat all day long and I won't bitch about it. But at the end of the day, for me, it's the depth of smoke flavor that sets them apart. I'm done with my rant. Over. Yeah, you live up there in Maryland. So what wood is available around there for y'all? I would imagine y'all probably got some oak and hickory around there. What's up, Rick? I'm just doing some deadgum spare ribs and a bacon wrapped tenderloin I bought from the store, stuffed with jalapenos and pepper jack cheese. That's all I've got going on. It's been a minute since I actually fired up the stick burner and put it to some good use. I actually fired up my pellet stick smoker last weekend and smoked a pork butt on it, and which I wasn't worried about getting a lot of flavor in it. The purpose of me doing my pork butt was to season it up like carnitas when I shredded it and get a real carnita authentic flavor for some tacos for a baby shower, and it turned out badass. Yeah, you'll notice the difference when you get the understanding what depths of flavor are. And I'm talking about smoke depths, not rubs. A lot of people mask smoke flavor with rubs, especially pellet smokers and all that. But when you start eating food off a bigger smoker, even if the food that I put off of this 250 compared to the food that would come off a 1,000 gallon smoker, that smoke flavor would stick out more than the smoke flavor on that 250 gallon. Just the volume of smoke that's hitting the meat. But once you understand that, and then some people don't like a lot of smoke. It depends on your taste. I mean, so does it cost a lot to buy wood over there, Chuck, or can you hustle your own stuff up? A lot of times, I'm very fortunate right here in Texas. I can be driving around and seeing a tree down in someone's yard, and they'll give it to me if I go cut it up. We don't have a whole lot of hickory around here, so that's kind of a rarity unless I go buy it from the firewood place. But it's expensive. Maple, I'm not a real big maple fan. I never have been, and there's not a lot of that around here either. But oak and pecan. If I had to put it in an order, it's red oak, pecan, and then water oak and post oak. I had to put it in a top 3 or 4, and then hickory being 4th or 5th. I've never straight up smoked with no real cherry wood before, but everybody says that cherry wood's good. Now I have used apple wood before. My only complaint about apple wood and a stick burner is it burns up freaking quick. It don't last long. You go through quite a bit of it, but it does put out a good flavor. Now you can smell that pine. I do when I buy wood from somebody I don't know. You'll smell that pine in there if they put pine. Ash, you can smoke with ash, but it's ash. You can smoke with ash and it's edible, but ash doesn't put out a real good flavor. But it's good for the fireplace. I bet freaking a cord up there where you live at, it's probably close to $400 or $500. Heck, even down here in Texas, it's running close to 300, 250. Yeah, I'm about out of pecan wood, Rick. I could have probably used some on this smoke, but I'm just using nothing but red oak today. But yeah, that did come pecan wood. The thing about pecan, you got to be careful with it. You'll get caught up in the smell of pecan because it just smells so good when it's burning, and you can over smoke your shit if you ain't watching what you're doing with it, not burning it clean. It ain't like oak. You can burn the oak dirty and get away with it, but that pecan, you don't want to burn it dirty for too long because it can get overpowered and make your meat brittle, bitter. Face cord, yeah. That's not bad for a face cord. That's pretty cheap. So for anybody that don't know what a face cord is, a face cord is half of a true cord. Right around winter time, like I was saying earlier, right around winter time, I'll say November, December, people start selling wood around here. Most of the time, it's greener wood. That's when I like to buy. I can get a cord for cheap, for 250, 200 of a mixed oak or red oak, and get it delivered and stacked. And I'll let it dry out for about 2 to 3 months, if not longer, if it needs to be. Uh, so I go through my wood pile when I get it, and I'll stack a few different pallets up, and I'll pick it up and I'll fill it by weight. And the heavier stuff will go on one pallet. The kind of semi-heavy stuff will go on one pallet, and the light stuff will go on one pallet. And I sort it out like that, and that way I don't try to burn too green of wood starting up front. You'll know when you're trying to burn some green wood, because it'll be hell to get going. I've been there and done that in the past. You pick it up and that son of a gun is really, really heavy, it's too green to burn, even with a hot and cold bed. And this Texas sun is out. There's some squirrels over there. I'd do a video on some smoked squirrels. Oh, it's getting hot. I'm going to hang out a little bit longer. I'm going to tough it out with you guys as long as I can. I need to get some watch hours. I ain't been putting out the videos I put out last year. When it gets cooler, though, I'll crank them out. I've got freaking one whole pallet of red oak left. That'll last me for the remainder of this year. I've got one pallet of water oak that I split last year that's ready to burn. That'll help me with everything. I hear lately I've been mixing my red oak and water oak, and the taste difference between red oak and water oak is not a whole lot, but there is a difference if you burn them both by themselves. But both are real good wood to burn. Then I got a little bit of pecan, and then I just had a big tree limb fall out in the road here a couple weeks ago, and I took it, split it up, and it gave me about half a pallet of water oak, so I can smoke with that at the beginning of the year, and that'll carry me over till I replenish my red oak supply. What were y'all recording, Chuck? What's up, George? How you doing, man? Oh, we're getting a little bit of a breeze now. Thank God. All my chickens are coming over here wanting to eat. Y'all go find some bugs to eat. If I put a 50-pound sack of feed out for these suckers, they eat it all in one day. Oh, your gaming videos. You were shooting a little bit of barbecue videos here and there, wasn't you? Hey, man, it's been a while since I got on here and ran it, George. I ain't been live in about 3 weeks. It's like I was saying earlier in the feed, I got an ex-wife and I've got 3 kids by her, and then I've got kids here right now. We got 6 kids total. And when I got all the kids, we spend the month of July going and doing stuff. So I don't shoot very many videos in July. All the videos y'all seen me release in July were actually shot in June. I ain't shot none this month. I try to share my knowledge, man. That's why I started my YouTube channel. Like I said earlier in the feed, I got kicked out of a YouTube group for sharing my content on there, even though it wasn't against the rules. But some some moderator got ass hurt over it, over my Texas tri-tip, said it was California tri-tip, which I don't know why he felt the need to even comment on it, but whatever. Kicked me out of the deadgum group for it. He lives over there in California. I guess he was offended. I got a bacon wrap stuffed pork tenderloin on and a rack of spare ribs. All I got going today. Not a whole lot, but I figured I'd fire up stick burner and get on here and hang out with you guys for a little bit. Well, that's cool. I'm debating on whether or not I'm gonna wrap them. I may go no wrap on them. It's here in a minute. I'm gonna have to. It's about time to hit them with my rib glaze here in a little bit. They've been on for about 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours. I just felt like eating some ribs today. So I went to my local Brookshire Brothers, and they were actually out of full spare. So what I got was the thickest rack of St. Louis style ribs I could find. So that's what I actually got on there. St. Louis style ribs. St. Louis style cut. I ain't smoking them St. Louis style. We roll Texas over here. I'm not shooting no video on it. Another pain in the ass thing about shooting these videos in the summertime is my camera gets too hot if I don't have it covered up, but shut off there and shoot. I'm the same way, George. I try to like and watch all y'all's videos, but I don't comment all the time. I'll comment here and there when I'm thinking about commenting, which I ain't been a real good new YouTube neighbor here lately. I ain't hardly been on YouTube at all in the month of July unless I was uploading a video here and there. Yeah, that dude got ass hurt because I put Texas tri-tip, not California tri-tip, and the dude's actually from California, and he kicked me out the group, man. And I get a lot of views from that group, and I like being in that group because it was a propane tank smoker group, and I got to see all these cool smokers. Somebody had an idea of fabricating one, and I shared a lot of my fabricating tips on that channel too when I was building this. But that dude was a douchebag and kicked me off. I reached out to the main admin on there, found out who he was, but I don't think he speaks English, so probably won't be getting back in that group. But you know what? That's just Facebook. The heck with them. Yeah, I try to watch everybody's videos, man, when I ain't got nothing going on. I really watch a lot of y'all's videos in the wintertime. It was called Propane Tank Smokers. Was the name of the group. The dude tried to tell me that I broke a rule by posting my video in there, which I've been posting videos in that group since I started my YouTube channel. So I guess he just made that up. He was a moderator. He wasn't an admin. But it is what it is. I don't get a hell of a whole lot of views off of some of them groups in Facebook, but that was one of the groups I could get about 30, 40 views out of when I shared my content to it. Yeah, and that's the reason I hadn't been on a lot of lives or shooting videos, Chuck, because I've been hanging out with the kids. If any of y'all are friends with me on Facebook, you've been seeing all the fishing stuff I've been posting on YouTube. On Facebook. The only reason I have a Facebook is just to keep up with friends and family. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't even do Facebook. And then the only reason I started this channel was just to share knowledge and help somebody else out. Because when I started out in barbecue, there really wasn't much YouTube to watch. There really wasn't a whole lot of information. You just kind of winged it on your own. And then Mr. Aaron Franklin came around in 2009, 2010, 11 and started sharing his knowledge and kind of helped us all out. So, dibs to thank you, Mr. Aaron Franklin. I don't care how many of these barbecue restaurants badmouth you. You're one of the pioneers of YouTube barbecue anyway. And then you got the OG legends, the Muellers and all them places in Lockhart. They helped along too. But Mr. Aaron Franklin really pushed the barbecue scene, in my opinion. Yeah. So, I mean, things have slowed down at work, but I'm pretty sure I'll probably get put on back on some turnarounds around October and September. So I may be MIA for a little while, but I just do this YouTube stuff for a hobby. It don't, which I'm not trying to make a ton of money off of it. I'm sure I can do some stuff to make more money off of YouTube, but I'm not trying to make a killing off of YouTube. So I just got my first $100 check last week from YouTube, and I've been monetized since April. So that tells you how much money I'm making on views and videos. It ain't much. Every little bit helps, but I wasn't expecting to make a killing off of it to begin with. I got to manage my fire. Give me just a second. I'm gonna go grab something out of my fridge right quick. And that's the ribs right there. My bark is set. There's a little bit of seasoning falling off the bottom of the rib. But my bark is set right there. It's been about 3 hours. If this is a full spare, I would probably go about 4. But it's time to hit these guys with my rib glaze. What I like to do with my rib glaze, so I put it on there and I kind of spread it out a little bit with my hand. Get caught back up on the chats. I'll be wrapping them ribs probably here in about an hour, hour and a half. They've been on for about 3 hours. Oh, what's up? What's up, Simon? TM4. If I ain't got nothing going on, Jorge, I'll try to jump on there and shoot the shit with y'all a little bit. By the time y'all get on in the evening, I'll probably have some shade right here. Thanks for stopping by, George. Ooh, it's getting hot out here. I got just enough rib glaze left to do my wrap. So what you up to this morning, Simon? Got anything smoking? Nope, my fire's getting away from me. Forgot to look at that pork tenderloin when I had it open. Sometimes when you tighten that fire up, you tighten it up just a little bit too much and it wants to get away from you. That's the disadvantages of not starting out with a big coal bed like I did this morning. You got your pork butt going? Anything special with that pork butt? Or just... I did a pork butt for carnita tacos last weekend. Seasoned it with some carnita seasoning on the outside. And then shredded it up and put that carnita seasoning on the shred and put it in some soft tacos with some onion and cilantro and some green sauce and red sauce. It was freaking good with homemade tortillas. Yeah, it was good. So if the coal bed dies out on you, there's a few ways you can do it. You can burn you down another chimney of charcoal, or you can split you up some small pieces of wood and gradually feed them on there until you get going again. This morning I didn't burn a coal bed down. I just started out with a good little handful of about 2 or 3 good handfuls of charcoal, and I had a bunch of shards of wood left over that I've been from splitting wood, and I put all them in there with my regular setup, and my fire ran for about 200, 225 for the first hour and a half this morning, which I wasn't in no hurry. I wasn't smoking brisket or nothing. It's just a small rack of ribs. So I blasted it with that smoke flavor. But now I'm kind of paying for that by not establishing a good coal bed up front. The wood is burning down, but the coal bed is not established because the wood's burning up a little bit quicker. So I'm having to feed smaller pieces of wood on there right now to keep it burning good and not dying out on me. and this persists for about another hour, and then enough of them coals will be down there, and it'll keep on trucking. You can do it, but it's just it's not. If I was doing a brisket cook, I wouldn't even chance it. I'd burn a big ass coal bed down. But yeah, small pieces of wood, or now when I say small pieces of wood, I'm talking about starting out small pieces of wood that burn up quicker. You have to manage it a little bit more. But really, the best way to get the best smoke flavor in it is to start out with a big hot coal bed and burn wood that's got a lot of moisture in it, and you get your flavor up front versus burning drier wood, having to worry about your coal bed going out, burning up too quickly. See, now I'm settled in and running about 290 and getting, I don't know if you can see it on video, getting some decent smoke out the stack now. That's what I wanted. Now, in your case, on Oklahoma Joe, the best thing to do is burn down lump charcoal if your coal bed goes away. You probably can't burn a whole lot of wood in that because how thin it is. It'll probably burn your firebox out. And I don't know what kind of setup you're using. If you're sitting on the sheet metal, or if you got a grate down or a basket. Ooh, that breeze feels good. Keep it coming. Yeah, the fire brick hack. Yeah, that'll help a lot. Make the bottom of your firebox last a lot longer on that thinner metal. And that fire brick will actually help you to retain heat. It'll act as a heat sink. So, yeah, that'll definitely work. Like right now, since I didn't burn a good coal bed down, I'm burning smaller pieces of wood. Smaller pieces of wood will rise up higher in temp initially, but then they'll drop off a whole lot quicker. When I get through this burn right here, then I'll have a decent coal bed to where I can burn my thicker pieces of log, denser stuff. No, I ain't making no tater salad today. Normally, I don't make the potato salad. My old lady makes some kick-ass potato salad. I leave that up to her. But I've never taken the potatoes and smoked them and then put them in potato salad. That might be something I need to try one day. You like a mustard-based potato salad or mayonnaise-based? Me, I'm mustard all the way. If it ain't mustard potato salad, I ain't eating it. Yep, mustard-based potato salad. See, man, my smoker's done dropped to 275 because them thin splits are about probably burn up. I'll let them go a little bit longer, and I'll smash it up, put some new ones on. But had I started out with a big, nice coal bed, I'd be trucking along right at 275, 285, and kept it right within a 10-degree range of it dropping off. But every now and again, I just got to do this to remind myself why I always burn a big coal bed down. You mix mustard and mayo. That's one thing I ain't had time to do in a long time is do a garden. Now my dad does a garden every year, and he'll give me a bunch of stuff. He'll grow new potatoes, whole corn, cucumbers. I got a lot of cucumbers from him this year. I made a ton of homemade pickles, so I still got some of those. Zucchini, I love taking that zucchini. He grew some zucchinis that were freaking huge. They're probably about that long, about that big around. Take those and I cut them long ways, and I like to char them on an open grill. And them suckers, that's some good eating. You give me some butternut squash too. The best way I found to do that butternut squash, which you could actually do it on the smoker, is just cut it directly in half and season it up and bake it at about 300 till it gets tender. Or you could put it on the smoker and smoke it, and it's real rich, but it's good. And now my smoker's done leveled out to about 275, so it's all good. What's the best way that you found? What's the way you like to cook your butternut squash? I'm still new to messing with butternut squash. I made my wife, she made a butternut squash soup that was real good, but it was a lot to take in, man. It was real rich. Like you didn't want to eat like a whole bowl of it. You were good after about 10 or 12 bites, and then that's all you wanted out of it. Yeah, I found that roasting it's the best way too. That butternut squash, it's good, but really I would think that'd be like a good sauce to put over something, not like barbecue, but like maybe some fish or something like that, or some chicken. It's real rich. It's real rich. All right, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and get going. Fix have to wrap these ribs, and the sun is setting in. It's starting to cook my ass out here. My computer's getting hot. Just had a little warning sign pop up. So I appreciate everybody stopping by for this live on an early Sunday morning. And till next time, peace out.